Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Measure Twice. I'm here today with Keziah from Keyz to your home, and I emphasize the Z because it's a really cool name. Thank you so much for joining us. Keziah, tell me a little bit about your business. You've been in business for about 10 years now, right?
10 years since 2016. It's hard work, man. I started off as a carpenter. I'm a framer by trade. Yeah, so I built houses actually.
Wow.
And it was my very first skilled trade job, right? I literally walked on a construction site and I was like, hey, you know what? Like, I really want to get to know like how to do this, right? I want to work with my hands. I'll come work for free, and I just want to just learn the skills and gain some experience. And lucky enough, the crew allowed me to, and ended up getting hired. And so I was a framer for about, I would say, 4 or 5 years straight. Summer and winter, working through
Wow.
hard labor, and performing the exact same work the males do, right? And at times even better, right?
Of
And
course.
faster. So it was really cool to go through that journey, experiencing working with a couple crews, and building residential homes. Literally, we would put up a whole neighborhood in about a month and a half, we would do phase one, phase two, phase three, and then we would get like a whole neighborhood up. And it was like, every 2 weeks we would jump onto the next house. As soon as we're done the foundation to the roof, onto the next, onto the next. So it was pretty nice. It was pretty cool. And I just decided that, you know what, I want to come out of the general labor aspect of it and get on my own right? Because I was like, you know what, I've done this for a while. I can read the blueprint. These guys leave me on site, trust me with the work. I know what I'm building, and I decided to just, you know what, I'm breaking through. Had went through literally sweat, blood, and tears, man. Literally, in that whole journey there. Um, Even a setup where I almost fell down like 20 feet and almost
From a roof.
no.
No?
This was on the second floor. Yeah, I was working with a guy that was a bit envious of the relationship the foreman and I started building. He started trusting me with more of the work and stuff like that. And when we're building houses and there's a hole, there's measures that you have to take in order to keep everybody safe that's working around you, right? So there wasn't any indication that there's a hole there. He just covered it. And I literally stepped in it and dropped. I was literally about a foot away from dropping straight into the basement where that was like full concrete.
Well, it's a good thing that you came out of it all right.
Good thing, man. Good thing. And God's good, God has my back. And yeah, so went through all of those struggles and stuff, and I was like, you know what, I had it. A guy said to me one day, you don't have the brains to do this. And from when he said that, I took off my tool belt that very day. I shook his hand and I said, you are gonna work for me one day. And
Does he work for you now?
and that's exactly that's it,
Great success story.
Yeah, it's not like his family, they're all a family framer, right?
Mm.
Family a framer. So his father ended up coming to help me on one of my houses that I was doing, right? His father puts up steel posts, and um and then that when that day I said that, it just dawned on me. I'm like, remember when you said? So the power of manifestation is real.
Absolutely.
It is very real.
Absolutely. So let's talk about, manifestation general.
Yeah.
As I understand, you mostly do residential construction, right?
Right.
And so from the keys to your home, what kind of, do you do full builds? Do you do renos?
Full renos, top to bottom, total gut additions, right? Because I have the framing background as
Right.
well, right? So anything that involves, additions, right? Like this year, we have an addition we're gonna do. We're gonna pop off the roof off of a bungalow and add another floor, right? So anything that has to do with home renovations, name it.
Oh.
We do it. The only thing I don't do work with is concrete.
Mm.
So I don't, but actually I lie. I do work with concrete. I lay tile, so I work with cement.
Right.
But I don't lay like concrete, exterior concrete work.
And so do you have your own outfit? Do you subcontract? How do you what's your model?
With my work,
Yeah.
I get my own clients, yeah.
Oh no, I mean more so with the people doing the job itself.
Oh, we do most of the work in-house. Most of the work. The only things that I usually let out are my plumbers and electricians. I leave those for licensed individuals who know exactly what they're doing, and they've been in the business for 20, 30 years.
And so having done this for about 10 years on your own, kind of with being the figurehead of your company,
Yeah.
have you found any difficulties with certain clients?
Absolutely. And especially being a female, you're going to get that a lot because um, the other stigma that I feel like not a lot of people talk about is with females. Females generally um, um, get harder treatment when it comes to the client. Like they're more picky, they're more making sure that it's almost like they don't trust the process, right? So I usually tell my clients, trust the process and everything will go well and smoothly. Um, and believe it or not, my most difficult clients have all been females,
Really?
not even males. I've
Wow.
actually never had a problem with a male. Yeah, it's quite it's a very I don't know how to explain it. And
Why do you
this
think that happens?
I don't know. I think it's a female to female inner battle competition thing. Like, okay, like why should I give you my money or something like that, right? I
You
don't
heard
know
it,
what
folks.
it
It's
is.
not our fault.
I don't know what it is, but I've had the most difficult with females. Like they feel like I'm either an scapegoat, someone that they can take advantage of, um, and really try to look at me as someone where, like, look at me like as a pawn.
Hmm.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know if there's like millions of dollars written on my face, but I usually in my whole 10 years, I've had two disturbing clients who have tried to tarnish my image, tried to take money from me, tried to abuse that power. And yeah, I've had to really experience that, I've a full 10 years, and that's only happened within the last 2 years.
So, Cassie, since you've brought it up, and
Yeah.
even your shirt says women building, there's another part there, but I
Yeah.
can't see it.
Women building
Futures,
futures,
love it. Is that your
right?
tagline for
That's
Keyz?
my tagline, women building futures.
Brilliant.
And that's how it's gonna stay, and yeah.
You know what? There's this old adage that I love, and maybe something for you for your future marketing. They say that a man can build a house, but a woman turns it into a home. So
And,
you can.
and that's what I've been doing, right? Turning literally outdated houses into modern luxury feels like like when it comes to my projects, I like to make my clients feel like their home now welcomes them in,
Mm.
just that experience and just seeing like the look on their faces when they're like, okay, I don't have to break my pockets all the way to the moon, but I can still have something beautiful, luxurious, legit, and it feels like he spent $1 million.
And so to your point previously, just about being a woman
Yeah,
operated business and
yeah.
having to get clientele, like have you felt any stigma, let's say in the last 10 years, coming and trying to sell a client, on your services specifically?
I haven't had much difficulty, but I would say the one or two where it's like, okay, I don't want to compete against like many other contractors who are pricing the job, say for instance, right? I've usually come in. I think my prices are usually even below market rate. That's why, because I have a lot of my peers that tell me, man, I gotta raise my prices up, right? So this year, I'm more focused on really like valuing who I am, the work I do, the work I produce. So I feel like when it comes to getting these jobs, it's not really too difficult. From the client contacts me, there's a client journey process that we go through, and once we go through that process and they're okay with the budget, they're okay with the quote, then we move forward. Yeah.
And so during that process, do you have anything that you do as due diligence? Like, do you vet your clients, right? To know if you want to work
Yes,
with them?
now I vet my clients. I decide who I want to work with, and as soon as I get a little small inclination or a feeling or a vibe that you know what, this is not somebody that I want to work with, I don't care about how much money it would cost for that project. I'm walking away.
And so maybe you can share with our viewers,
Yeah.
what are some of these red flags? Like, how have you
Sure.
identified them?
I've identified them like this. Like, okay, you meet a client, like I'm a vibing type of person. I gotta vibe with you, right? We gotta
Do we have a
feel
vibe? Are
we
we
have
good?
to we gotta mesh,
Okay.
We gotta mesh. We gotta feel that positive energy. And if I don't feel that positive energy, I ends up just backing away. I'll just, say, hey, honestly, I'm really backed up with work, so I won't be able to get to you till like maybe next year or something
Hmm.
like that, just to try to get away from that specific project. But I've definitely done that. You can sense if the client is really interactive with you, if they're standoffish, right? If they talk a lot or not, if they're more quiet. It's just a whole bunch of like body language too that like I'll be reading now to kind of really see if, and then just the conversations. Like if they're like, oh, we want something on a very low budget, well then okay, I may not be the person for you, right? Because uh, just because I'm a female, I'm not gonna give you the cheapest priced or minimum just because I want to get the job. It doesn't work like that no longer in me personally. Maybe in the very beginning, I would be fine. I would get any job. I would want to like, make sure I get my hands on it. But a lot of those bit me in the back too, right? Like even with working with some contractors, wouldn't get paid, just had to run after people and sometimes didn't get paid at all.
Mm.
Right? So I suffered a lot of those in the very beginning, and now I've put like a lot of things in place, contracts, and stuff. Have I also have like a team behind me, a law firm behind me that's
Ah.
making sure that things are in place and things don't ever get out of hand again that I've experienced with those other two clients. Yeah.
No, that's good. And so for some of our viewers who might be either in your position now or
Yeah.
just starting out,
Yeah.
what's a piece of advice that you would give to make
Man,
sure that,
yeah, the piece of advice is don't chase after the money. Peace of mind is more valuable and priceless. I really do feel like, as young people growing up, you want to make sure that you have things in place, especially document and business wise. You want to make sure you have your contracts in place. Everything needs to be detailed oriented, transparency with the clients, making sure they know every step everything step every project they know step by step what's going on. I'm very transparent with my clients. I actually involve them in the process where we get to they get to choose the materials, they get to see what they're having. I show them 3D images of maybe like a kitchen design or what that would look like. So I keep them involved, right? And that kind of gives that little comfort where they know what they're doing, they know what they're getting, times, dates, anything like that. You got to stay on top of those things. And yeah, don't chase after the money so much because more money, more problems.
more money, more problems. Well, listen, Keziah, thank you so much for
No
coming in
worries.
today. It was a pleasure learning from you
Absolutely.
and hearing your experiences.
Yes.
Thank you, folks, for tuning in, and we hope you join us in another episode. So good to meet you.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.